Rod, welcome back to the program. It's been a while since we spoke. This is something that is a huge issue, and I think most people can see that, as Trudy said, tech giants have been acting with impunity. You can see it's pretty bald-faced anti-competitive behaviour. What do you think about this government proposal?
Well, I think it's terrific. A bit late. I mean, the ACCC proposed it in September 2022, so it's a bit 2 years after the proposal came forward, but extremely welcome. And I think it needs to be pointed out, it's the same, it's a very similar step to what the European Union have already got in place. It's legislated. Germany did it even before that, and the UK has legislated a very similar regime. So we're not leading the world here. We're now a bit of a follower, but I think working with those other agencies will give us a lot of power.
Indeed. So what needs to happen? What should be at the top of the list? I mean, there's Apple Pay giving Australian banks access to that, the way the App Store operates. This seems to be only around the edges.
Oh, yes, but those edges are really important. Let me give you one example of an edge. At the moment, Apple says if you're an app on Apple, you can't let people know that they can buy your product more cheaply on the app developer's website. Now, that's pretty extraordinary. The Europeans have used their rules to outlaw that, but of course we don't have any rules to do that. So that would make things instantly cheaper for consumers trying to buy things on an app store. So that's a real gain. I mean, yes, at the edges, but a real gain. And then you've got the fact that Apple Pay is charging 15 to 30% on transactions. When you think about what most charges are on transactions, that's pretty amazing. Google's probably charging something similar on all the ads that you see, the digital ads you see, and that ultimately costs consumers because the parties paying those high fees are passing those costs on to consumers.
It all comes down to compliance as well as whether these tech giants can comply. And I think politics and politicians have been so afraid to do anything in this space because of that compliance issue. From your perspective, can the ACCC and can the correct legislation actually make these tech giants comply? Because I don't think they're going to fear even $50 million fines, do they? Or is it more a reputational thing?
No, well, the fines are 50 million or I think it's 30% of turnover. So there are options there that make the numbers very large. The power here, though, is that the ACCC will work very closely with the United Kingdom, with the European Union, with Japan, Korea, as it always does. And that combined strength will mean that I think it's just not possible for the tech giants to support this.
And Rod, they've got slightly different models, don't they, Japan, the European Union? Is there one that you would pick over any other?
Yes, I'd pick the United Kingdom's special market services regime, and that is largely what the ACCC regime, I mean, that is almost, I think, completely what the ACCC regime is framed around. But let me make one other point. It's not, when you have these upfront regimes, that is, this is what you've got to comply with. Yes, there's a penalty if you don't comply, but ultimately you can go back to court and, force them to comply. So these are upfront rules, just as we did a long time ago with Telstra that allowed the entry of Optus and Vodafone, which reduced telecommunications prices. This is exactly the same thing. Now, I realise Telstra was just Australian, but the combined weight of so many regimes around the world will definitely make this happen. Long overdue, but terrific that it's happening.
Okay, so to wrap this up, you're saying it's good, but too late.
Oh, not too late. Would have preferred it a year ago, but better late than never. I mean, provided we get it in and actually happening, if it's a year delayed, well, that's a problem, but at least we've got it. I'd be pretty confident this will have the support right across the parliament, just as the new merger law changes were proposed by the government, supported by the Coalition and the Greens. I think the same will apply here. So I'm pretty confident we will get legislation, hopefully early in 2025, that will make this happen. So yes, I'm frustrated by the delay, but better late than never. This is no. Let me not detract from the fact that this is happening, which is great news for Australian consumers, Australian businesses as well. I mean, the banks have been waiting on this for a long time.
Yes, they have. Let's see it happen and head through the parliament sooner rather than later. I really appreciate it, Rod. Great to see you. Hope to see you again.
Okay, good to be back. Thank you.